how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. In today's video, I'm gonna be ranking my last 10 palettes. I feel like it's been a little while since I've done one of these. I feel like I just didn't try as many as fast. Obviously, I've tried 10 palettes since we last did one of these, but I feel like it's been a little bit of a longer stretch, which I am very okay with, actually. As always, I got this video idea initially from Annette's Makeup Corner. I will have her channel down below. I love doing these kinds of videos. I love just kind of recapping on what I tried recently, chatting about everything, kind of really reflecting and deciding what I would prioritize over other things, and I always love hearing your thoughts on these palettes as well. Before we hop into it, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and TikTok by the time this video goes up. And then as far as my accessories go, these plugs are Hear No Evil jewelry on Etsy. This choker I got at a convention and they did not leave their card, so I don't know what the shop was called. And this hat is from Witchwood Bags. So yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna hop right into it. I don't want to chat too much in this intro, so let's just dive in, chat about these 10 palettes, and get to ranking. All right, let me grab this pile of palettes here. I do want to say that I did not include my new collab with Shroud, the Halloween palette, in this, just because it goes without saying that that's my new favorite palette. So I feel like that's boring to include it in the ranking. So I just didn't include it at all. These are the 10 palettes that I tried most recently, excluding that one. If you think I'm forgetting something, I either 1, have not tried it before, 2, included it in the last ranking, or 3, it'll be coming in the next one. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. I actually struggled a bit with this one. My top 3, I went back and forth on quite a lot. And then the bottom ones, it was tough because like I really don't hate them, but there were some nitpicky things I had about them. I don't know, it was kind of tough to do this ranking because I didn't really have any solid hatred towards any of these either. But without further ado, let's just get to ranking. Ranked number 10, and this is gonna be surprising just because how much I love this brand and how much I love the theming. It's just not my color story in the moment right now, so that's why I ranked it so low. The other color stories today speak to my soul a little bit more. But number 10 is the Beetlejuice Melt Cosmetics Waiting Room palette. I got this as a gift from a friend a couple months ago and I'm loving it. I truly think this is so fun to play with. I uploaded an Instagram video and TikTok with this fairly recently. It's probably been like a month now at this point, but I do like it. It's just, I'm gravitating towards other colors right now. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We all have a least favorite color to play with. Like there has to be a least favorite. And I feel like right now for me, it's reds, and I don't hate red. Don't get me wrong, I do not want the next few years to be full of people accusing me of hating red like people accuse me of hating orange. I don't hate orange. I actually quite like orange, but I just am not drawn to red right now. I'm really into, right now I'm into the Halloween colors, the orange, green, and purple, but I'm also of course into blue, I'm into yellow. I'm just not super into red right now. So this is just not the first palette I'm gonna reach for in the moment if I had to choose. So that's why I ranked it super low. I don't hate it. I think the formula's fine. I do wish this was organized more in the long columns like Melt typically does, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, long story short, that's why I ranked this one number 10. Very nitpicky, but it's simply just because I'm just not super into this specific color story right now. As beautiful as it is, it's so smoky, very like 2000s emo kid vibes, and I love that. It's just not what I want right now. Ranked number 9, I have a few nitpicky things about this one as well. It's the Ethereality palette from Jolie Beauty. I was really excited to try this one when they reached out to me wanting to send it to me. I did do an Instagram video / TikTok with this as well. This is what the inside looks like. These colors are everything. Again, I'm super into like the green, purple, blue vibe. I think it's beautiful. I love the range of pastels to deeps in here. My main concerns with this one are there are quite a few pressed glitters in here, which isn't my favorite thing. It's not totally a deal breaker for me anymore, but it's still not my favorite thing on the planet. And a lot of these shimmers are just not quite up to par, especially because these two shimmers right here are so just like dimensional and reflective and kind of that more dimensional, just textured kind of shimmer. Everything else in comparison is almost like a satiny shimmer, and it's just not, I don't know. I feel like I wish all the shimmers could have been that way. Like I would have even been able to look past the glitters a little bit if more of those shimmers were a little more special. I don't know. It's those nitpicky things that made me want to rank it lower. I do like this color story more than the Waiting Room, which is why I ranked it higher. But because I have those nitpicky things about this palette, I really couldn't rank it any higher than this. Overall, it's not a horrible palette. There's just a few things about it that make me wish it could have been better. It's also quite a large palette. Like this is very huge to hold. Like it's thin, but it's big. Next up, number 8. This is kind of where we're getting to the point where I do like these, and it was getting a little tough to rank them. The bottom two are the ones I was pretty certain on. But number 8 is my new Salem Cosmetics Salem and the Witch palettes. So cute. I really vibe with this color story. It's kind of like turquoise, blue, pink. It's very, very cute. I feel like their shimmers have gotten better since they first launched their initial palette. This is their 3rd one now, and their mattes are really, really good. They are so pigmented and they blend so smooth. I never have an issue with skipping or patchiness or anything like that. I think it's a really good formula, and I'm just really excited to see them continue to grow and improve and do more, and it's been fun to watch this brand grow. Why did I rank it number 8, you ask? It's tough, and I think it's just because everything else speaks to me just a tiny bit more. Maybe some of these palettes have shimmers that speak to me more, or just the overall color stories do. As much as I do like this color story, I think everything else just pulls at my heartstrings more. Maybe it's a brand that I've loved for a long time and I just adore their formula. I'm not sure. This was tough again, but that's why I ranked it here. It's not a bad palette. I like it far more than the 2 previous ones I talked about, like by a long shot. But I couldn't really rank it any higher than this. Everything else just kind of gets to me a little bit more. I did upload an Instagram video and TikTok with this palette as well, if you need to see it in action. Moving on to number 7 is the Colourpop Matte About Hue palette. I wasn't gonna try this one when they sent it to me. I was actually gonna give it to a friend just because I really didn't need another all matte gradient rainbow palette, because Blend Bunny has the best ones in my opinion. The Surge is like my favorite palette in my collection aside from my own. The Blends palette is like the ultimate rainbow palette, and the Primal just goes so perfectly with it because it fills in the gaps of what the Blends doesn't have. I've said it before and I'll say it again, the Blend Bunny palettes are really not much more expensive than this Mega palette from Colourpop, especially if you use an affiliate code to get a discount. I have one and it's battybean. So I would recommend those over this one. I did end up deciding to try this one though, just because these murky colors at the bottom definitely scream to my soul. And I do think the formula is nice. I think it was very pretty. I think it's very blendable. I like the gradient of pastel to deep, but again, I will say Blend Bunny gets even deeper, which I love, and I just love her formula more. But compared to what I've tried, I do like the colors that are in here. I like the grungy action paired with the pastels. I think it's a very satisfying gradient, and the formula does perform really nicely. So I wanted to rank it here, but I couldn't rank it any higher than this just because the likelihood of me like reaching for this all the time is slim, because I am gonna reach for Blend Bunny over this when I want to use a palette like this. But just compared to what I've talked about today, this one does have colors in it that I just adore a little bit more. So that's kind of where I'm at. Again, I know that I'm a little all over the place as far as my reasoning goes. Sometimes I just have to go with my gut, go with the vibes, go with what I'm feeling. And that's kind of where I landed with that one. I did also, of course, upload an Instagram video / TikTok with this one. I think I paired that with some of my Cliona stained glass shadows, so you can check that out if you're interested. Moving on now though to number 6, rounding out the bottom 5 of this ranking my last 10 palettes. It's one of the new Kaleidos ones. This is the Flowing Haze. It is so cute. I really like this kind of plummy neutral vibe, and this shimmer is so good. I gasped the first time I swatched it because it's just such a brilliant shifty duochrome. Such a pretty shadow. That alone I feel like made me bump this palette up higher. If this had just been a traditional metallic, it probably would have got bumped a little bit lower just because I don't reach for neutral heavy things very often. But I like how this has that very special duochrome, which definitely takes it out of the neutral realm for me and kind of gives me just very grungy vibes. It's such a pretty quad. I think this is gorgeous. I uploaded a video to my channel recently playing with both of the new quads in the Night of Creation collection, and I also have an individual Instagram video / TikTok with this as well. Yeah, I feel like I've kind of said it all. I didn't rank it any higher just because it's not as colorful as I would go for, but that duochrome definitely kicked it up a notch. I love how sultry and smoky this gets. I think this is a very, very cute quad. And now moving on into number 5. This is the other Kaleidos quad. This is the Glowing Iris. It's so pretty. I used this alongside of one of the new multi-chrome eye pencils from the collection from Kaleidos for this look today. So again, that's on my Instagram and TikTok. I think this is so cute. I love these cool toned violety purples. I think they are so pretty. My main gripe with this is I really wish this shimmer could have been a brilliant duochrome as well, like the other palette, but it is a very pretty metallic. It's in my inner corners and I think it's gorgeous. I'm just kind of bitter that it's not a duochrome, but because it's super vibrant, super purple. Love purple so much. I did want to rank it higher than that one. I just couldn't really rank it any higher than number 5 just because the top 4 palettes have just beautiful color stories, beautiful shimmers, beautiful tones. So yeah, this is very like middle ground for me. Both of these were. Like they're very good. They're definitely on the good side of a ranking, but definitely in the middle for me. There's a couple things I would change, but for the most part, they're really good for what they are, and I'm really happy to keep using them. But I will say it in every video that I chat about Kaleidos. I want more of those 6-pan Futurism palettes so bad. I think the quads are cute, but I want more of those 6-pan palettes because they are my favorite things that they do, and it's been a long time since they've done one, and I really hope they're not done forever. Moving on to number 4. I love these ones so much. Number 4 is my Monteverde Cloud Forest palette from Nomad. It's so gorgeous. It's just such a lush, like colorful jungle vibe. It is so pretty. I love the different colors in here. We have beautiful, beautiful shades of green, the different pops of brights in here. I don't consider them neons. I had a few people in my comment section on my YouTube video with this, chatting about how they aren't like super big on neons, or they were just curious about neons. Regardless, I don't consider these to be neons at all. I just consider them to be brights. If I'm being honest with you, the Blend Bunny Surge palette has brilliant neons. I don't really consider these neons, but regardless, the shimmers in here are so pretty. And I know they released at least some of these shadows as singles as well, if not all of them. I'm not quite sure on that, but I know at least some of my favorite shimmers in here are. I also did upload an Instagram video / TikTok, and I think my YouTube video was a 2 looks video actually. So I have multiple looks out there if you need some inspiration. I think this is so pretty. I think this color story is so fun, and the shimmers are just outstanding. So I definitely wanted to rank it pretty high. I only didn't rank it any higher just because the top 3 palettes really do like sing to my soul, but I think this is a brilliant palette. I love Nomad. I think they are such a cool brand, and I'm just always really excited to see what they do next. Moving on now to my top 3. These were the ones that I was kind of moving around a few times until I landed on this, and I think I'm pretty satisfied with this order. Number 3 is my Give Me Glow Teal Nightlife palette. I think this is gorgeous. I did upload a 2 looks video with this to my channel and an Instagram video / TikTok. I have videos with everything, always. There's always a tutorial out there. I think this is gorgeous. Again, I love blue, green, yellow so much, and the shimmers in here are gorgeous. I really wish though there could have been a green shimmer in here. I think that would have taken it to another level. I don't really love that the only shimmers in here are blue. Like this one almost is like a teal blue. I feel like it looks a little more teal on camera. It's very blue in person with like a little bit of a teal undertone to it. I wish there could have been a very vibrant, brilliant, like bright green shimmer. That would have been really cool. And because the shimmers are so limited is why I didn't rank it any higher than the top 3. I will be honest, if this had at least 1 or 2 more shimmers of varying color to go with this color story, this could have been ranked number 2 or even number 1 just because I love these colors so much. But because I had to be picky with my ranking and really dissecting these and deciding how to place them, I decided to keep it at number 3 just because of the lack of shimmers. But I love Give Me Glow's formulas. I think the mattes are amazing. They're so buttery and blendable and smooth for me. And the shimmers are just so brilliant and metallic and amazing. I definitely wanted to rank this one pretty high, but as it stands, I did not rank it any higher. Moving on to the top 2. Number 2 is my new Fantasy Cosmetica Sorcerer palette. I think this is amazing. I'm so excited to see a new palette from them. Their Druid palette has been my favorite palette to launch this year so far, aside from my new collab. And I'm just so excited to see them launching their second palette. I think it's so pretty. I love the blue, purple, pink combination, and these shimmers are just to die for. They are so wet looking and shifty and magical. I did upload a YouTube video with this to my channel. I can't remember if it was a 2 looks or just a standalone video, but I did pair that with a Instagram video / TikTok, of course. So multiple looks are out there. I'm super happy with this. I really debated putting this one as number 1, but number 1 just stole the show just a tiny bit more. This is such a fantastic palette though, and I am so looking forward to seeing what they do next. And finally, last but not least, ranked number 1, drumroll please. It is my Glamlight and Michaela Pot 2 palette. It looks like this. It is so pretty. I loved her original collab that they did last summer. It was the only Glamlight palette I'd ever tried, and this is now my second Glamlight palette I've ever tried. I loved the first so much that when she was launching a second one, I was super interested in seeing what it would look like. And then when it got revealed, I was sold. I loved the shimmers in the first palette and I was so excited to have more, and there are so many delicious, beautiful greens. I actually liked this one more than the first palette. My only gripes with this one, and it's so minor, but the layout of this is so weird to me. Like, why is it like 2 mattes shimmer, 2 mattes shimmer, and then shimmer mattes? Like, this shimmer should have been put here and those should have been scooted over. That kind of bugs me. And I also think it's weird that it's just randomly like all shimmers on the top row and then a couple shimmers, matte, shimmer, matte. There's like no rhyme or reason to it. I feel like if anything, they should have like maybe scooted these 2 over here and put those 2 swampy ones in the middle so it at least looked cohesive. I don't know. I know that is so nitpicky and so not important, but those are my nitpicky things. But overall, I love this palette. I think the shimmers in here are so good. And I love the mattes, I love the colors, so this one ended up landing as number 1. And that wraps it up for my latest ranking my last 10 palettes video. I would love to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking about these palettes? Are you interested in any of them? Do you want any of them? I would love to chat with you down below. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave me your last 10 most recently used emojis? And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me on my other socials. You can join the battybean fam. I am battybean on everything, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And if you want, you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'm posting most days over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. The sun is coming out. Oh my gosh, go away. I don't want it. I'm tired of being hot. It's September. Can we please pretend it's fall here in Florida? I would love that.